Take us through the actual day that actually changed your life.
He tried to run me over with that car. I could have been dead. It's a fact.
You could have been a statistic.
I'm my son's only living parent.
For us to grow this channel, please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends and colleagues. What happens when the person who is supposed to protect society is the one that you fear the most? Imagine having the courage to report abuse, but then the system actually fails you and you feel abandoned. Today is not about sensationalism. It is about the truth. It is about healing, justice, and accountability. My name is Zakes Manda. Welcome to the Modern Man podcast. I'm a community builder and I advocate positive masculinity and positive role model amongst men in society. Today's conversation is about gender-based violence and what role can men play in society to combat not only the stigma but to end violence and assault against women. We've got a very special guest, Mali Fatele. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Zix. And it's an honor for me to be here today.
Okay, before we start our conversation, I just want us to track back a little bit. Tell us about who is Mali Fatele.
Mali Fatele is a mother. I'm a student.
Okay.
Equal to what you do as well. Community activist in my own community in the south of Johannesburg.
Okay.
Yeah. A love of life, God-fearing woman. Someone's daughter. And someone's sister.
As you all know, we've got my best friend who is the friend of the show. My best friend called the Invisible Man. Yo, bro.
Today it's a very sensitive topic, so we need to handle it with care so that we don't mislead people. And then, I'm happy to be in the show.
Okay. Malifa, let's just get straight into it. But before I go further, I just want to understand what were your dreams and aspirations before the incident happened?
When this year began, naturally, like I said, I'm a student.
Yeah.
Because I had left the corporate world, my intention was to go back.
Okay.
Not knowing that something this horrible is going to occur. So I've had to park all of those things for this year because naturally when you embark on a journey or a quest to seek for justice, it takes time. And you won't be able to accomplish other things that you had planned for this year. I've had to park a lot of things and focus on my quest for justice.
I see. Okay, so tell me, how did you meet your boyfriend?
Excuse me. So some people would say it's somewhat of maybe a fairy tale story. It's someone that I've always known. He was my senior in high school. He was my senior in tertiary.
Okay.
Then I spent a number of years not seeing him until a couple of years ago. I met him again because he had bought a house actually not far from my own place of residence. And then three years ago, that's when we decided to begin this relationship.
Okay. And then tell me, what actually made you to fall in love with him? What was it about him?
The first thing that comes at at the top of my head is that I've always been a person that likes law and order. So everyone or anyone that's in law enforcement, that's in the judiciary, they are going to be the type of person that I like.
So you like men in uniform?
Not particularly in uniform, but I like people that keep the order. I think because my belief is that those are the people that keep us safe, that keep our children safe. That keep
Those
our
are the people who are supposed to protect society.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah.
Safety is a major concern for me, and I think that's why throughout most of my life I've surrounded myself with people in that type of work, and yeah.
Were there early signs that maybe you overlooked when your relationship began?
Yeah, definitely. And I think you get to understand them when you take a step back and when you are no longer in something.
Yeah.
I think the early signs started from you had to be apologetic about the things that you know.
Okay.
In that relationship, I've had to let go of a lot of things that were of interest to me. Like I said, I'm a community activist, you know.
Yeah.
You get to hear the snide comments around why are you involving yourself in this, because there are people that can deal with it. You had to be apologetic about your own intelligence. You had to be apologetic about the dreams that you had. You had to be even apologetic about your style of parenting, you know, because maybe it's different from his, or it doesn't resonate with him. Yeah, the red flags were there.
So they were there actually before.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, okay. So you're speaking about there was a lot of, can I call it the reprimanding from the things that you wanted to do from his side? To say, you know, you should not be participating in this. Why are you doing this?
Not so much as reprimanding.
Yeah.
I think with abuse, the abuser tries to take away your identity. So, for an example, I'm a firm Christian.
Okay.
I'm involved in church activities. If you get comments like it takes up too much of your time, you are really available, those things somewhat take away who and what you are. You know, you almost get swallowed in what the person wants you to be and not who you truly are.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
My friend, when you think about or when you hear such stories in terms of women, what happens to them, what comes to your mind?
It's a very sensitive thing because, number one, sometimes the abuser has gone through their traumas before. We are not justifying the case that it shouldn't, it's not okay to do it in the first place. So as ourselves, we need to know what is abuse ourselves.
Yeah. So tell me, Malefa, when did you realize that actually this relationship is unhealthy?
I started realizing it because when you're a couple, I don't think you'll get along every day, right?
That's true.
Yeah, in any relationship, there's going to be times where we are going to reprimand each other over things, you know. But I believe that as matured adults, we don't have to scream about it. We don't need to be physical about it. So the first thing was when I tried to reprimand other things, you see a person's temper rising and they start screaming. So this is my personality. When someone starts screaming, I take the posture of saying, I think let's not continue with this conversation.
Okay.
That on its own, for me, is also another element of being abusive, because you suppress what, or the point that the other person is trying to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started realizing with that that I could not be given the chance or the opportunity to get my point across,
Okay.
right? Because maybe you've got a louder voice, you speak over me, and naturally I would take the posture to say, I don't think this conversation is worth it. Let's not continue with it,
Okay.
And with that, you've already won.
Yeah. So were you guys living together, or you
No,
were
we were
visiting?
not.
Oh, okay.
We were not, but we actually spend a lot of time together. So I suppose when you spend a lot of time around each other's company, yeah, you tend to pick up a whole lot of things.
Oh, I see. So tell me, did his profession as a policeman initially made you safer when you guys met?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Um, like I said, I'm very big on safety. So for me, it was I'm always in the company of somebody in law enforcement. So therefore, my safety is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the least of things that you expect from someone who is actually a law enforcement officer.
It's not even the least. It's not something that you expect from
Yes.
someone in law enforcement.
From a man, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then can you take us through that day? I know it is a very sensitive um, moment to reflect on, but take us through the actual day when the incident happened
Okay. So
that actually changed your life.
yeah. So this didn't actually happen on one particular day. So
Oh, okay.
I'll take it a step back. So in June of 2025,
So this only happened last year. Okay.
last year, that's the first incident. So I'll take you until to the one that led us to the case, and yeah. So he had picked me up from a friend's place. We were supposed to go home. On the way, he decided to stop by at a pub within the area that we live in to check up on someone. I didn't even ask who it was. I stayed in the car because it was meant to be a few minutes in
And
and
then
out.
you guys are out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a couple of minutes. While I'm sitting in the car, I decided I needed to go to the bathroom. I went into the premises, went to the ladies. When I came out of the bathroom, I saw him. He was standing there. I tapped him on the back of his shoulder. And then he started making noise, which was very odd.
Out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue, which was very odd to me. Made his way towards the entrance, the exit actually. I was following him, and then he was like, no, he made a comment around, you think you can control me. I didn't get it. But because he was loud, and then I said, you know what, I don't understand where this conversation or this argument is stemming from. I think the best possible thing for me to do is to leave. So that particular place is literally 2 streets from where I live.
Okay.
I mean, it's within my surroundings. And as we walked towards the car, I opened the passenger door because I had left my handbag in the car. I took my bag. As I turned around to walk away, he was already behind me. And he began assaulting me. So naturally, because it's outside a pub, so you're going to have people around.
Of
Yeah,
course.
people came out. They tried to stop him. I was terrified because somewhat he seemed like an animal. He had lost control. I mean, if other males are trying to stop you but they're unable to, it shows another element. Until it got to a point where I don't even know that gentleman till today. I remember amongst the crowd, he's the one that was able to push him aside and said, "Get in your car and leave," you know. And on that particular day, he was driving a state car, although it's unmarked.
Okay.
He got in the car.
So this was late at night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Late at night. Got in the car, started the car, reversed from where he was parked. I think we all thought he's going to drive off. He tried to run me over with that car. Yeah. So somebody pushed me out the way. Yeah, I called a friend of mine. They drove to where I was. They came. They drove me to the police station. I went in, and mind you, that police station is the very one that he works in. Okay. The reception I received was not welcoming, especially when...
Was this a male person? Was this a female?
No, it was a female person.
Okay.
Especially when I mentioned...
His name?
Yes, his name.
Okay.
So already they knew who I was talking about. And I left the police station. I didn't open a case that day.
Okay, this is in June, right?
This is in June, in 2025. We got in the car, we left. I remember I slept over at my friend's place because she said to me, "I can't take you home given the fact of your injuries.
Yeah.
I don't know what your family is going to say." Slept over at my friend's place. I remember in the morning when I got up, I called one of the counselors in our area. I said to her, "Look, I've got an issue. This is what happened yesterday." She sent me the contact number of the station commander. She said, "Phone him, speak to him."
So when now this is the following morning, right?
Yeah.
Has he contacted you? Has he called you?
No, he hasn't. Actually, on that morning when I got up, I think when you are injured and you are in pain, you don't really sleep that well. When I got up in the morning, I think, if I remember well, it was around 7:30, 7 a.m. I took pictures of my injuries. I remember the specifically the WhatsApp message that I wrote to him, and I said, "I hope you are happy about what you've done to me. What I've realized is that not only will you assault me, the intent for you to kill me is there."
This guy wanted to run you over.
Of course. He didn't respond. I phoned the station commander. We had a conversation. So obviously, because I'm at my friend's house, she's listening to this conversation.
Yeah.
She lives with her partner. They made it seem as if they are going to a store or whatever, and then they went to him. I mean, okay. It's somebody that they know as well, right?
Yeah.
They went to him to say, "Look, we feel you need to fix this thing because we've already accompanied her to the police station last night. The intent is to get you arrested. We don't know how you're going to solve this because you are also in law enforcement. We don't think that's what you want." And I think it's human nature. the first instance of people will always want to remedy a situation. I don't doubt their intention at that time. For calling that meeting, because he followed them. We sat down. They said, look, we are at this point.
Okay, just pause a bit. Tell me what was going through your mind when the assault was happening.
So and also when all of this is happening, did he even tell you why and what happened when you went, like from the moment you went to the bathroom and back and touched him and then he said you're starting to control me? Did he at least explain what have happened?
Yeah. What triggered him?
No. Till today, I don't know. I've never gotten that answer. In all I know is in both assaults, the only thing that I've heard is, you think you can control me.
Okay, that's very strange.
That is very strange. And I think maybe now when I sit down alone and think around it, maybe he thinks I wanted to control him. I don't know in what aspect. What I know from the time that I've spent with him, he's someone that doesn't like to be reprimanded.
Okay.
He's someone that...
So that was clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's someone that doesn't take from anyone telling him or trying to advise him on another way of doing things.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've never gotten that answer. It's still a mystery to me, you know. And I think also there's this thing I think that annoyed him about me, is that whenever we're supposed to engage, or if I was supposed to be in an argument, my posture to say I'm not going to have this conversation, or I'd rather leave, angered him. Me not wanting to be part of a fight, it annoyed him.
Yes. Okay. So as this was going on, right, with the assault, did you believe you were going to survive this?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it. I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, I still don't believe it. I didn't believe it then. Because something at the back of my mind always makes me think these assaults were premeditated.
Why do you say that?
Because of the duration or the little things that triggered him.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not tantamount to you reacting that way. That's according to me, you know. So that's why I'm always of the view that I think when he was on his own, he's always had that thing in his mind to say.
Okay. Just take us through some of the incidents that happened after that.
So, yeah, after June, well...
So you actually did not open it?
No, I didn't. I did not.
Okay.
But because I had spoken to the station commander last year, so he was already aware.
Yeah.
Right. Even though I took a decision at that time not to pursue the case. He was aware. So
why did you not pursue the case, if I may ask?
I don't know. I think everything has a process with it, you know. And I'm a firm believer of second chances. I thought we had a meeting. We had sat around the table with other people.
So you involved other people?
Yeah, other people were involved.
Which is what? His family or friends?
No, my friends.
Okay,
our friends actually.
Okay.
Because they called that meeting, you know. Because when you sit around the table and you have people that actually reprimand and say, look, we hope you realize what you've done, you know, and the implications that could come from all of this, you know.
Yeah.
And the person is able to say, look, I acknowledge I've done something wrong. I'll rectify it. It'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I equally went with that. I thought that was the case until we got to February of this year.
Okay, let me bring in my best friend right here. When you hear such stories, right, from Umalifa, what goes through your mind as a man?
It opens a whole conversation on what is abuse, why does it happen, what's the root cause of GBV, what's the root cause of a person you look up to having to turn and be this thing that you don't even understand. So yeah, I think there's a whole lot of conversation that
What's even crazy about this is that this is a person who's supposed to protect society.
So for the fact that it happened the first time and he knew there was a case that was supposed to be opened, and he did it again, it means like he is now familiar with whatever that he's doing. To say if they didn't open the case before, he can get away with it the second time around. Yeah.
Okay. Malifa, how has that experience affected you physically and emotionally?
Physically, obviously, I've got physical lifetime scars that will never go away.
That's always will be a constant reminder.
Constant reminder. Because somebody will ask you on a random day, where did you get this scar? Or what happened here? You know? You have to explain that. The emotional scars will never go away, I suppose.
Okay.
You can do whatever. You can go through the therapy, the talking.
So you've gone through therapy?
Yes. Okay. I'm still going through it, yeah. I'm a vocal person. I suppose I talk about it quite a lot. Even last year when I didn't open the case, I still spoke about it.
I was about to actually come there. That did you open the case, and what courage? I mean, it must have been difficult. Obviously, this is someone who understands the law. This is someone who's a police officer, not just a police officer, but who's high ranking in the SAPS. And what courage? Just take me through in terms of what does it take to actually go through that, where you actually open the case?
It's not easy. I can tell you one.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Because what happened was, on the day when I opened the case, he actually assaulted me outside my place of residence. So naturally, my neighbors came out. And they actually are the ones that saved me, because he tried to run me over with a car again.
Again?
Yeah. So if they had not come out, we'd be talking a different story, right? My parents are elderly. They are 75. So
yeah.
My neighbors took me into their house because they were avoiding my parents seeing me that way. I said I took out my phone. I made the first call that I made it to a colonel where he works, who's the station commander. And I said, look, he's assaulted me. You know the background. And then he said, no, go and open the case. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want an occurrence of last year. You are law enforcement. I phoned you. You need to protect me now. I was fortunate because he just said to me, hang up, I'll phone the relevant people. He phoned me back literally a minute after that.
Okay.
And then he said to me, okay, it's fine, send me your address. I'm sending officers. They will come and pick you up. They will ensure that this case is opened.
Yeah.
So he had already given them directive.
Okay.
All right. And the funniest thing or the scariest thing was that when they came to pick me up, they came with the same state vehicle that he tried to run me over with the previous year. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So when I got into the car, I remember the first thing that I said to those officers, and I was like, guys, you've actually triggered me. And then I remember one asked why. And I said, last year I almost got ran over with this car. And I'm going to open a case.
And these are his colleagues?
Of course, these are his colleagues. And then they all went quiet, you know. Took me to the station. They took my case. The person that uploads the case on the system is not only his colleague, is also his friend. Okay. You know, I remember him saying, yo, what has happened now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, where's my friend? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Okay, so they've picked you up. You guys are going to where he stays, I believe?
No.
Where you guys going? You're going to the police station?
To the police station.
Okay.
So that's where they take my statement.
Okay.
The case is going to get opened. So I actually opened the case where he works.
All right.
The case was opened up by his colleagues.
All right.
Even those that had been tasked to assist me, obviously, when you are in an environment where the perpetrator works in, you are somewhat uncomfortable.
Of course.
It was very uncomfortable.
What has happened actually after you reported the matter?
So what happened was, I remember I opened the case, it was on a Sunday.
When is this? Do you remember?
The 8th of February.
Okay, this year.
This year.
Okay.
The same night I got the case number, all was sorted, I went home. The next morning, that was being the 9th, I met with another colonel, came with a docket, naturally because he's an officer. They had to inform IPID, and then IPID came, they contacted me, they came, they took the docket because then they handling the case.
Yeah, since now you have reported the matter, how has the authorities handled it? In your view, are you getting justice?
It's different, and I'll tell you why. So he got arrested by IPID, right,
okay,
on the 12th of Feb. One instance that I can think at the top of my head, I remember on the 18th of February we went to court. I had to take the witness stand because it was his formal bail application. So IPID and I were going to oppose bail. It was very uncomfortable that day for me.
I can imagine.
Because, and not because I was going to give testimony.
All right.
It was uncomfortable because from when I arrived in court at 8:30, I think we finally wrapped up at around 3:30.
Yeah.
There were officers from where he works, there were officers from other police stations. I don't know if it was meant that I should be intimidated.
That
And-
was my follow-up question, actually.
Yeah.
That how has the authorities themselves handled the case, in your view?
It was badly handled in different parts.
Okay.
When we were in court that day, it was obviously naturally court is on a working day. They left work. They were there the whole day. It was a parade of police officers.
So these are police officers, somehow, if I may say it, giving support to their colleague,
100%.
not to you.
Not to me, to their colleague.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? That's bizarre. It's absurd.
I think this is a case of intimidating a person who has opened a case against you, because it's unusual that when there's such a case, the colleagues of the guy are supposed to be around because they are close to the case. They are not supposed to be there. So now, if this is happening, I think moreover it was just to intimidate her, to say,
Of course.
we are watching you, looking at every move that you do, even though they're not saying it. But yeah, I think just to applaud her, the courage to open the case, the courage to go through with it, the courage to be with those guys who were there and all those things.
What has been your biggest frustration so far?
So my biggest frustration was,
This guy literally should be in jail.
I've had to do my own research, right? Because after the formal bail application court date, I actually reported officers of that particular station.
Yeah.
So remember, others are not only his colleagues, but are his friends. So I know them by name. So I pushed so hard in asking the colonels there to say, I'm unhappy with what happened when I was in court, and I feel there must be some way of or recourse,
Of course. Yeah.
Then I got to find out that you can actually report that.
Okay.
I reported it. I know they call it a negative discipline. It sits within the SAPS provincial office. I emailed them, and I was happy because they move swiftly.
All right.
Then they take that email, they send it to the inspectorate at the SAPS national office. They responded to me. As things stand, police officers of Inadale police station are barred from attending any court proceedings between me and their colleague.
Yeah.
So I've gone to court a couple of times. When they've seen me, they've recused themselves, because naturally they are officers and they are they work in detective services. So because they investigate cases, they work at courts because they must give testimony, they take dockets and all of that.
Yeah.
So there are people that actually work in the court. So whenever they see me, they have to recuse themselves, because if they don't, they are going to be put through disciplinary action.
As I'm sitting here and listening to your story, which is actually one of the many stories that are not told in South Africa, there's so many women who even do not go to the police station and open a case. What message does it send to victims who happen to experience this?
Well, yeah, it's difficult, yeah. And I think for me it's more difficult because I had to open a case against somebody in law enforcement, and somebody who's worked in law enforcement for the past 24 years.
Okay.
So they know the law better than most people, right?
So your case is public knowledge, right?
Yeah, my case is
so we
public
can
knowledge.
be able to say his name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is his name?
His name is Dumi Austin Tladi. He's a warrant officer at Innerdale Police Station, working in the component of detective services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, Malifa, what do you want this conversation? What do you want to achieve with this conversation, actually?
What I want to achieve is and I'll say it like I say it to most people, because when I open the case, I know there's a lot of people that said to me, why don't you just break off the relationship? Why are you opening a case? And I said, look, I refuse to be
You
a
have dumped
statistic.
him, right? Have you dumped him?
Naturally.
Okay.
Naturally. And I said, look, I refuse to be a statistic, right?
You could have died.
Of course. We see it every day when victim stories are told when they've already passed away, right? I refuse to die without telling my story. I think I can tell my story better.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I can sit here and put it out there, you know. I want to teach people that it doesn't matter who it is that abuses you.
Yeah.
It can be a person in law enforcement. I got it done. I got to see somebody in law enforcement arrested. I got to see him in handcuffs. So I can tell you, it's possible.
It is possible.
I got to show other people that if people in law enforcement support another one in a criminal case, there are platforms to report them. I got to have it done.
Yeah. And how has this affected your family, particularly because you're also raising a boy child, right?
Yeah, I'm raising male children, actually.
Yeah.
2 of them, right? And for me, it was important to do this because I also don't want them to think it's okay to abuse women and they can get away with it, right? My younger son was very close with my ex, and he actually looked up to him, and so do a lot of young males from the community that we live in.
Yeah.
You understand? And I have this thing at the back of my mind that we cannot allow these young males to, because they look up to him, right, to think everything that he does or he has done is correct.
True.
We have to rectify that.
Yeah.
Right. My own children must know, because they are males, they must know if they're going to abuse someone, they're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
And I have to, it's my responsibility to teach them that through my own experience.
And just to echo that sentiment, one of the reasons we started this podcast, it is to raise a generation of young men, particularly boys, who can be responsible, who will be accountable, and who can be better men in the future. So now you've talked about the emotional side, right? The physical scars that you have, which literally, these are for life.
Yeah.
But what about your mental health?
Yeah. Days are not the same, right? I've got days where I wake up and I'm in a fighting mood. I've got days
I
where...
can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got days where I wake up and I'm in a... I don't want to see the world today, you know?
Yeah.
I've got days where I wake up and I'm angry at myself for allowing this to happen the second time. I think it's got its stages.
Yeah.
It changes from time to time.
Wow. You are a strong woman. You came to this platform talking about your ordeal, which is a very sad story. Invisible Man, what do you think of Malifa's story?
There's a lot to learn from this. The courage to stand up, the platforms that need to teach more of what abuse is. How do you get abused? Where does it begin? The root cause of the whole thing, because it starts with the tone of how I talk to you, and then it goes to a slap, and then it goes to a fist, and then it goes to any weapon that's around me. So there's conversations that need to be spoken about, the courage of opening cases like this. So I think there's more room to the conversation, and I believe one day at a time, this will be a thing of the past. Only if people come out and report such cases.
For me, I believe that gender-based violence is not just a women's issue or a man's issue. It is a societal issue. So this podcast actually is going to help people like Bomalefa and other women out there who are not reporting these incidences to actually come to the fore and have that courage. So I really would like you to get the justice that you deserve, in terms of what do you actually want to happen with
I want
this?
accountability.
Okay.
This I went into this thing, and I always say to other people, it's not about the end result. It's about what happens in between.
True.
Through this, I think, or I assume, or that's how it should be actually. It's supposed to also teach the perpetrator that it does not mean because you are in law enforcement you can break the law. You are not the law.
Yeah.
You are there to enforce it, right? I don't think at any given moment he thought he would find himself locked up in a cell.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought he could ever find himself staying for days in prison. You know, understand? I don't think he ever thought that he'd find himself out on bail. I don't think he ever thought that I'd have a protection order against him that restricts him to or the movement. You know, I want to win this case.
Yeah.
I pray about it every day, and I'm confident that I'll win it. Because unfortunately we have to teach those painful lessons.
Yeah.
You break the law, you must be made to account.
True.
That's how it is, because I could have been dead. It's a fact.
Yeah. You couldn't not have been sitting here
Exactly.
sharing your story. You could have been a statistic.
My sons would not have a mother.
Yeah.
And I think that's been my driving force
All right.
behind this, because I'm my son's only living parent.
And you're a single mother. Yeah.
Exactly. So my children could have been orphans if I had died.
Yeah.
I cannot allow that.
All right. As we wrap up the conversation, to me, when you called us to come to the show and share your story, I was like, you know what? Let's do this immediately. We cannot wait. As Modern Men podcast, we are advocates of protecting women and children, the vulnerable society.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up the show, I just want us to close up with some rapid fire questions, right?
Yeah.
Just as we wrap up. Don't think about it too much. Yeah. I like that you're smiling out of all the ordeal that has happened to you.
I smile.
Yeah.
A lot.
So tell me, what's the one word that describes your strength?
Faith.
Okay. What keeps you hopeful?
Life.
Who has been your biggest supporter?
My son.
What does healing mean to you?
New beginnings.
Okay. Okay, I want you to finish this sentence, right?
Yeah.
I refuse to let.
I refuse to let someone turn me into a victim.
Thank you very much, Malifa Tsele. There you had it. Our guest, Malifa Tsele, a GBV victim who's fighting the cause for justice. Madoda, let us become better men in society. Let us protect our women and children. So for anyone who has become a victim of gender-based violence, please call the number on the screen, report those cases. Do not become a statistic. And as men, let us very much protect our women. These are the pillars of society. And for us to grow this channel, please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends and colleagues. I'm your host, Zakes Manda, with the Modern Man Podcast. See you on the next episode.